Hi, I'm Bill Bradley. Join me for a recent excerpt of American Voices. These days, as many people feel increasingly lonely and isolated, connecting with friends and family takes on a whole new meaning. But what if someone doesn't have a friend, a relative, to call? Or what if you feel like talking to a new person? Well, there's an app that's designed to help. It's called Dialup, and it has a feature called Quarantine Chat. Connects strangers, people from all over the world to talk and have a conversation on the phone. Danielle Baskin is one of the founders, and she's here with me now. Welcome to American Voices, Danielle.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
You started this concept with Dial-Up before the pandemic. Now, how'd you get the idea?
Well, I've always been interested in phone conversations, which is somewhat of a lost art. And I met a friend like Max Hawkins maybe in 2016. And when we met, we both shared a love of phones and randomness. And so Max actually created this bot that would connect us roughly every 3 to 4 days in a phone call. So we didn't call each other. We just automatically got connected. And then friends asked, hey, I want to join your bot calls too. So I had my friends join, Max had his friends join. And so we had like 40 people randomly matching on the phone. And it has since evolved to now thousands of people all over the world randomly matching on the phone based on topics.
So these days, this app takes on a whole new meaning. I mean, Dial-Up couldn't have seen COVID coming. What are you seeing today in terms of people feeling that they need to connect?
What's interesting now about everyone, being stuck inside is that you're missing those moments where you do get to talk to a stranger, which, typically that happens randomly. Like maybe you're talking to your barista or someone in line or your neighbor, and you don't have those, everything is very planned. You don't have serendipitous moments. And you also don't get to experience things outside your own world. I think people are very much in their own heads. But what's interesting about our app right now is it's simulating conversations that you would stumble into without deciding in advance that you want to talk to someone.
So give me an example.
I heard a story this woman was walking her dog and her phone rang. And so the partner she talked to got to join her while she walked around her neighborhood. We have prompts at the beginning of the call, so sometimes it asks you to describe your surroundings. But, that's the icebreaker, and your conversation could go in any direction. But she was a flight attendant who is doesn't have work right now. And so, she's used to talking to strangers all the time from all over the world, right? So she loved this app because she gets to have those experiences of meeting new people while still in her own environment.
So how does it work logistically? Let's say I sign up and I feel like talking today to someone. So what do I do?
So you could sign up specifically for the quarantine chat calls, which you go to on quarantinechat.com. But then once you sign up on the app, it calls you at a random time once a day, occasionally twice a day, but usually once a day. But you don't know in advance. The quarantine chat calls specifically are totally random. So it's okay if you can't pick up. If the phone call comes in and you're available and want to talk, it's an opportunity, but it's totally fine if you miss a call because it doesn't affect the matching. But once you pick up, you're matched with a surprise person and you can talk for as long as you want. And it's totally free.
So you don't have the person's phone number?
No, you don't. No, you only have their username. We don't use phone numbers.
So what if you want contact with this person again?
Afterwards. Yeah, that's actually that's our most popular feature request. We're going to build out a system. After the call, you can mark that you want to talk to them again. And we're building a system, and this should be ready sort of soon, where you can opt into getting calls where you reconnect with past matches. So maybe you talk to someone and you really get along with them, and then 2 weeks later, there's you can catch up again.
Yeah, well, that sounds interesting. That sounds like fun. How long do you usually talk?
Usually I talk for 40 minutes. Some people, though, talk on the phone for 3 hours. It totally depends on whether or not you click.
And so the people who do this have to have a real genuine curiosity about life and other people.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, some people are used to talking to strangers on the app, but a lot of people, sign up and at first they're nervous. They're like, oh, I don't know if this is for me. I don't usually talk on the phone. But then after a few times they get a call, they'll eventually pick up and realize, oh, it's actually very easy and natural to talk to someone.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Welcome to Quarantine Chat. We're about to put you on hold and connect you to someone else anywhere in the world. If there's an odd number of people who pick up, we can't guarantee a match today.
Hello?
Hey, hi.
Hi, how's it going?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you?
I'm doing okay, doing as good as I can.
I just went for a podcast today, and I was so excited about it, but I couldn't do it. And I was like, man, I want to talk about all my favorite podcasts. Because, I don't want to, call up my friends and be like, hey, let's talk about podcasts. They'll probably say, there's a pandemic. I don't know why you're
Yeah, it's a good way to get, out of the situation and, have some peace and, have something fun to do.
Yeah. I know. I feel like I want to start painting again, so I have a reason to join the painting one, or, maybe get a saw or something,
To have a friendly, quick chat with a stranger. That's something people don't really have right now.
Totally.
You're filling a real void.
Yeah. I mean, I think that not only do you get to learn about other people's perspectives about what's happening in the world, but you just get to, tell stories about your life and you get to meet someone for the first time, which psychologically is very energizing when you get to, I think when you talk to the same people over and over again, they know you too well. And you don't get to tell stories new for the first time, right? So, if someone's asking you, I talked to someone in Michigan and she was telling me, and she lives there, she's been living there for 20 years. And she said that, if someone asked her, oh, why'd you move to Michigan? And she said, I haven't had to tell this story in such a long time. And then she was talking about being in her 30s and having kids and just all these things from her life story felt kind of nice, like she was being interviewed on a podcast in a way that she kind of decided to create, invent her life narrative in that moment. And normally her friends don't ask her, why did you move here? She's already there.
So how many conversations have taken place roughly in the quarantine chat during this time?
I mean, every day there's 700 conversations. And we've been running this for 2 months. So it's a lot. Each week, it's thousands of hours of conversation.
Right. Well, do you you ever hear about other people's conversation? Any feedback about what it means to them?
Yeah. People email us their stories all the time. And you can also write a message to us within the app. But, I mean, a lot of people say, hey, this has really positively impacted my life. I was feeling sad and then my phone rang and I was like, oh, this totally boosted my mood. People exchange recipes and people give each other advice.
When you're down and troubled and you need a helping hand.
Danielle, thank you so much for being here and telling us about Quarantine Chat. And thanks for helping connect people around the world.
Oh, yeah. It was great to talk to you.
Winter, spring, summer, or fall. Now all you got to do is call. And I'll be there, yeah. You've got a friend.
Thank you for listening to American Voices here on my YouTube channel. For more interviews celebrating the goodness and creativity of the American people, click the subscribe button below.